Hi, fourth grade. This is your first lesson in chapter 11. Today we're going to learn about predicate nouns and predicate pronouns. Open up your textbook to page 326 and look at reference 159. It says predicate noun or pronoun, linking verb, and pattern 4. You can read that box to yourself, and then I'm going to explain it here on the video. Grab a piece of paper and a pencil so that you can write down all of the important information that I go over in this video. Alright, predicate nouns. A predicate noun is a noun in the predicate that means the same thing as the subject noun. Remember, we have other nouns that can show up in the predicate too, like a direct object and an indirect object, an object of the preposition and a prepositional phrase. Those are all nouns, but they're different from predicate nouns, and I'm going to show you what I mean in just a minute. Number 2, a predicate noun comes after a linking verb. If you remember from our verb jingle, a linking verb shows no action. It's a state of being. The linking verb shows no action because it tells what the subject is. So review that jingle. It'll help you remember what linking verbs are. So linking verbs are verbs like am, is, was, were, being, been, appear, become, feel, grow, look, remain, seem, smell, sound, and taste. They link, that's why they're called linking verbs, they link the subject noun to the predicate noun. They tell us what the subject noun is. They don't show a state of action. They show a state of being. A predicate noun is labeled as PRN, and a predicate pronoun does the exact same thing. It's the same thing except that it's a pronoun, like she, I, me, etc. A predicate pronoun is labeled PRP. If a sentence has a predicate noun or pronoun, it is a pattern 4 sentence, and you label it like this. All right, we're going to practice a few together. We're going to practice a few of these together. The first sentence says, Mom is an excellent painter. Who is an excellent painter? Mom, subject noun. What is being said about mom? Mom is. Is a verb. Don't forget that. Say that to yourself 5 times. Is a verb. Sometimes people forget it because it's just a little tiny verb, but it's an important one. Is a verb. Mom is what? Painter. Now before, we are familiar with questions that sound like this. Mom is what? But before we would usually answer them with a direct object, right? But in this case, painter is not a direct object, and here's how we know. When we ask the question, Mom is what, and we answer it with painter, we then ask ourselves, does painter mean the same as mom? Are they referring to the exact same person? If they're not, it's a direct object. But if they are, it's a predicate noun. Mom and painter are both referring to the exact same person. So they mean the same thing. They mean the same person. If your mom is a painter, it's the same person. So we know that painter is a predicate noun, and we're going to label it P-R-N. What kind of painter? Excellent. So we're going to label that as an adjective. And actually, I should have done this first. PRN, we labeled our predicate noun as PRN. That means we know for sure this verb is a linking verb because it linked mom and painter. They mean the same thing. So it's a linking verb. We need to label it LV. Don't forget to do that. An is always an article adjective. The type of sentence that this is declarative, period statement, declarative sentence. Let's divide the complete subject from the complete predicate right where the noun is, or right where the verb is. All right, and then let's let's tell the pattern. This has a linking verb and a predicate noun, so it's pattern 4, so it's subject noun, linking verb, PRN, pattern 4. Let's do the next one together. Mr. Glass is the principal. Who is the principal? Mr. Glass, subject noun. What is this saying about Mr. Glass? Mr. Glass is. Is a verb. It's not showing any action, so that should right away make you think, is this a linking verb? Is there a predicate noun? Mr. Glass is what? Principal. Now, if principal and Mr. Glass mean the same thing, they're referring to the same person, principal is a predicate noun. But if they're not, principal would have to be a direct object. So does Mr. Glass and principal, does that mean the same person? Well, yes, of course. Mr. Glass and principal, they're both referring to Mr. Glass. They're the same person. So principal is predicate noun. The is always an article adjective. Let's change the verb to a linking verb because, of course, we know that it's linking the subject noun to the predicate noun. And it's a period statement declarative sentence. And it's pattern 4, so it's subject noun, linking verb, PRN, pattern 4. Divide your complete subject from your complete predicate. Third one, Mia is a cat. Who is a cat? Mia, subject noun. What is this saying about Mia? Mia is. Is a verb. Verb. It's showing a state of being, so right away you should be thinking to yourself, is this a linking verb? Well, let's see if there's a predicate noun and we'll find out. Mia is what? Cat. Does cat mean the same as Mia? Are they referring to the same thing, the same animal? They are. So, cat is PRN. Change the verb to a linking verb. A is always an article adjective. Period statement declarative sentence. This is subject noun, linking verb, predicate noun, pattern 4. Number 4, Washington was a president. Who was a president? Washington, subject noun. What is this saying about Washington? Washington was. Was is a verb. Verb. Washington was what? President. Does president mean the same thing? Is it referring to the same person as Washington? Yes, they're both referring to the same person, same thing. So, it's a predicate noun. That means this verb is a linking verb. LV. And the word a is an article adjective. Period statement, declarative sentence. Subject noun, linking verb. PRN, P4. Divide the complete subject from the complete predicate, and there's one more thing that we need to go over before you can do your classroom practice. So open up your textbook to page 329. You need to look at reference 160, rules for making nouns possessive. Look at that reference on your own. It says, a possessive noun is the name of a person, place, or thing that owns something. A possessive noun will always have an apostrophe after it. It will have either an apostrophe before the S or an apostrophe after the S. The apostrophe makes a noun show ownership, like Joseph's boat. Follow the rules below to make nouns possessive. We've actually already talked about this in class, so this should look familiar to you. Rule 1, for a singular noun, a regular singular noun, you add apostrophe S to show ownership. For a plural noun that ends in S, you add an apostrophe after the S, like boys apostrophe. Plural nouns, a plural noun that does not end in S, you just add apostrophe S, like men's. All right, let's look at the chart there that's in reference 160. We're going to practice this together because you'll see something like this on your classroom practice. So if we have goat milk, right, we need it to say goat's milk. So is goat, is that singular or plural? I'll underline it so we can see. Goat, is that singular or plural? It's singular. What rule then does it follow? Rule 1, 2, or 3? It follows rule number 1. So the possessive form is goats with an apostrophe S. All right, that's all you have to do. Let's go to the next one. Students. Students' tests. Is students singular or plural? It's plural. We write a P. Therefore, does it follow rule 1, 2, or 3? It follows rule number 2. For rule number 2, we need to put the apostrophe after the S because students is plural. So it should say students, apostrophe. Number 3, children. Children's sleds. Well, we need to show ownership, so we need to say children's sleds. Children is a plural noun that does not end in S, so it follows rule. Oh, well, we need to actually say that it's plural. Should have done that first. So write P, it's plural, and it follows rule number 3 because it's a plural noun that does not end in S. So for that, we need to write children, apostrophe S. And there you have it. That's all you'll have to do for that chart. You can look at the rest of that chart on page 329 on your own. And you are ready to do classroom practice 52. This is classroom practice 52. Exercise 1, classify each sentence. Number 1, Mr. Sims is my music teacher at school. Who is my music teacher at school? Mr. Sims, subject noun. What is being said about Mr. Sims? Mr. Sims is a verb. Mr. Sims is who? Teacher. Does teacher mean the same as Mr. Sims? Are they referring to the same person? Yes. So teacher is predicate noun, PRN. That means that is a linking verb, LV. What kind of teacher? Music teacher, adjective. Whose music teacher? My music teacher. Possessive pronoun, adjective, PPA. At is always a preposition. At what school? Object of the preposition. Period statement, declarative sentence. Put parentheses around your prepositional phrase. Divide the complete subject from the complete predicate, right where the verb is. And this is subject noun, linking verb, predicate. Oops. All right, sorry. Subject, noun, linking verb, predicate, noun, pattern 4. And we're done with that one. Number 2. Ethan was the best actor in the play. Who was the best actor in the play? Ethan, subject noun. What is this saying about Ethan? What is being said about Ethan? Ethan was, verb. Ethan was what? Actor. Does actor mean the same as Ethan? Are they referring to the same person? They are. Predicate noun. That means this is a linking verb. What kind of actor? Best actor, adjective. The is an article adjective. In is always a preposition. In what? Play. Object of the preposition. The is always an article adjective. I'm going to put parentheses around our prepositional phrase. Period statement, declarative sentence. This is subject noun linking verb. Predicate noun, pattern 4. Divide the complete subject from the complete predicate right where the verb is. Number 3, she is the best runner on the track team. Who is the best runner on the track team? She. Subject pronoun, because she is a pronoun. What is this saying about she? She is. Is a verb. She is what? Runner. Does runner mean the same as she? Are they referring to the same person? They are. Predicate noun. What kind of runner? Best runner, adjective. The is always an article adjective. On is always a preposition. On what? Team, object of the preposition. What kind of team? Track team, adjective. The is an article adjective. Period statement, declarative sentence. Oh, I forgot to go back and change the verb to a linking verb. I hope you remembered to do that. This is subject noun, linking verb, PRN, pattern 4. Divide the sentence. Put parentheses around our prepositional phrase. And we're all done. Exercise 2. For part A, underline each noun to be made possessive. Write S for singular or P for plural, the rule number, and the possessive form. For part B, write the singular possessive and plural possessive of each noun. All right, number 1, donkeys, tails. The first thing we want to do is underline the noun, donkey, donkeys. And is donkeys singular or plural? It is plural. So what rule does it follow? It follows rule number 2. So what is the possessive form? Donkeys, then apostrophe, tails, like that. Cat bowl, underline the noun cat. Is cat singular or plural? It is singular. It follows rule number 1. So that means we write cat apostrophe S, bowl. Number 3, James foot, underline it. Underline the noun. Is James singular or plural? It is singular. James is one person. Therefore, it follows rule number 1. For rule number 1, we add apostrophe S, James, like that, James's. That might look weird to you because James ends with an S, but this is how you are supposed to write it. Pay attention to that because a lot of people, even adults, do that wrong, and it's kind of annoying. But you will not do it wrong because you're learning it now. Number 4, boy bike. Underline the noun boy. Is it singular or plural? It is singular. Follows rule number 1. So we write boy apostrophe S, bike, boy's bike. I forgot to write foot up here. I'll fix that. Number 5, Dennis book. Underline the noun, Dennis. Is it singular or plural? It is singular. There's one Dennis. Follows rule number 1. That means we write Dennis's book like this. Dennis's book. Women, cars. Underline the noun. Singular or plural? Plural. Follows rule number 3. For rule number 3, we write women's cars. Lee's house. Underline the noun. Lee's. So this would be like the Lee's house, like the Lee family, all of them, the Lee's houses. Oh, houses. Lee's houses. Lee's, is that singular or plural? It is plural. What rule does it follow? It follows rule number 2. So we write it like this. Lee's, because it's all the Lee's, their houses. Lee's apostrophe after the S. Houses. Birds' nests. Underline the noun. Is birds singular or plural? It is plural. What rule does it follow? It follows rule number 2. So we write birds apostrophe nests. Chair, underline the noun. Is it singular or plural? It is singular. It follows rule number 1. So we write chair apostrophe S legs. And let's go to part B. For part B, we are supposed to write the singular possessive and plural possessive of each noun. Father, singular possessive. Father apostrophe S. Plural possessive. Fathers S apostrophe. Dress. Dress apostrophe S for singular. For plural, let's turn it into a plural noun. Dresses and then apostrophe. Parent. For singular, we write parent apostrophe S. For plural, let's turn it into a plural noun. Parents and then apostrophe for possessive. Pencil. Pencil apostrophe S. For plural possessive, turn it into a plural first, pencils, and then write your apostrophe for possessive. Wife. Wife apostrophe S for singular. For plural, turn it into a plural first, wives, and then apostrophe. Child. Child apostrophe S for singular. For plural possessive, turn it into a plural first, children, and then apostrophe S because it follows rule number 3. Zebra, singular, apostrophe S, and then for plural, turn it into a plural first, zebras, and then apostrophe. Girl, singular, apostrophe S. For plural, turn it into a plural first, girls, and then apostrophe. Wolf. Wolf, apostrophe S. And then for plural, turn it into a plural first, wolves, and then apostrophe. And there you have it. Editing. Exercise 3 is the editing guide to help correct each mistake. Paragraph 1 has 21 mistakes. I can't believe this is happening to me, groaned Lamar as he searched for his homework. He finally looked at his teacher and said, Miss Booth, I can't find my homework, but I know that I did it. Okay, that's a lot. For this one, it doesn't say to underline your explanatory words, so we're not going to. I know you're used to that, and honestly, I kind of like when they have you do that, but they're not having you do it for this one. All right, let's capitalize I. Let's put quotation marks around what's being said. I can't believe this is happening to me. And then we have more dialogue over here. Can't, we need to put an apostrophe in there. It's a contraction. I can't believe this is happening to me. You could put a comma. I'm going to put an exclamation point because he was probably exclaiming this. Showing strong emotion. Groaned Lamar. As he searched for his homework. Put a period at the end. In that sentence. He. We need to capitalize he because we have a new sentence here. Capitalize the first word. He finally looked at his teacher and said, oh, I'm sorry, I put the quotation marks in the wrong spot, so I need to get rid of those. Or actually, I can just move them over, I think, because he's talking to Miss Booth. Well, let me move them. I thought it was going to. Let me try one more thing. Oh, it's letting me. Oh, but then it's moving those. Okay, I'm going to just delete them and do it over again. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, now we have them right. He finally looked at his teacher and said, comma. So we have explanatory words at the beginning. Miss Booth, capitalize Miss Booth. Put a period between Miss Booth because it's a title. He's directly addressing Miss Booth. Whenever you see that, you have to put a comma after whoever is being directly addressed, whatever name is being directly addressed. I, capitalize I. Can't put an apostrophe in that contraction. Can't find my homework. But I know that I did it. We have a compound sentence here because we have two independent clauses and we have to join them with a comma and a conjunction. I can't find Miss Booth. I can't find my homework, comma, but I know that I did it, capitalize I. And put a period at the end of your sentence. Okay, let's see if we have everything. All right, let's count our mistakes. We should have 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We have 21. All right, number 2, Miss Booth smiled and said, growing up always has a few bumps and zeros to help the bump. You can write a page on organization to help the zero. You can redo your homework at recess. Nice teacher there. All right, let's put quotation marks around what's being said. Miss Booth smiled and said, so those are our explanatory words. All right, let's go back to the beginning. Capitalize Miss Booth. Put a period in between Miss Booth because it's a title. Explanatory words at the beginning, that means we need a comma after them and before the quote. We have to capitalize the first word of the quote. Growing up always has a few bumps and zeros. We're going to put a period at the end of that sentence. Always has a few bumps and zeros. To help the bump, capitalize 2. To help the bump, put a comma right there. Because we actually have a dependent clause followed by an independent clause, so we need a comma. To help the bump, you can write a page on organization, period. Capitalize the next sentence. To help the zero, we again have a dependent clause followed by an independent clause. So let's put a comma right there. To help the zero, You can redo your homework at recess. Put a period at the end of the sentence. Let's count our mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have them all, and we're done.